Let's begin our time together. Nice deep breaths this morning.
I'm Jules Taylor. I'm a member of the Chalice team, and I'm also a member of the choir here at UUFF. And if anyone has any desire to be part of either of those groups, I highly recommend it. Both of them are really fun. So good morning and welcome. When we gather here, it is not because we have the same beliefs, but because we are an intentional community that seeks to support each other's individual spiritual journeys. If you seek to understand the world around you and the community that you are part of, you are welcome here. You are encouraged here in your search. Your heart and mind never need to struggle with one another in a UU congregation, because we have no fear of science and we have no fear of knowledge, and we strive to have completely open hearts. Let the way be open, let the way be open. For the next hour, we will enter into a time made sacred by our presence and our intentions. I invite all of us to minimize distraction, to turn down the volume on our fears, to loosen the armor around our hearts and open them as slowly and easily as you need to. Let the way be open. Let go of the expectations placed on you by others and those that they taught you to place on yourself. Let go of the guilt and the shame and the regret. Let go of the thing that you said the other day and let go of the thing that you are dreading next week. Be here in this moment. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Jules. Good morning, friends. It is truly wonderful to be here with you today. My name is Renee. I'm very excited about our topic. Our topic today is meditation. One of the reasons I love my job here at UUFF so much is that you're all so very intelligent. You've heard the term that's been made trendy over the past few decades, emotional intelligence. Well, I also believe in such a thing called spiritual intelligence. I haven't read a book called that or anything, but there might be one. But I know that if emotional intelligence exists, spiritual intelligence exists, and that's UU's, in my humble opinion. And it's nice to know that we can go deeper in a topic than what is mindfulness. And I don't need to define meditation for everybody. We've all heard of it. That's awesome. What I will remind you of is that meditation is worth the time that it takes. I've heard so many times, oh, I'm too busy to meditate. Well, and the fact is, if you were practicing mindfulness, perhaps it might not feel such a busy time, and you're worth taking the time to practice mindfulness. You're worth it. Many of you know that I lived in Houston for a while back in 2005, going to school to learn how to facilitate yoga and meditation. And I grew so much during that time. And that was when I realized that mindfulness can really change our mood, can change how our day is going, and it can change our life. So today we're going to participate in a little bit of meditation. We're going to sing about meditation. And we're going to learn a little bit of new information about meditation. First, let's get grounded. We won't go into full-on meditation right now, rather just kind of mindfully center and get ready. So please get comfortable in your chair. And let's just start with a deep breath. And when I say clear your mind, that means different things for different folks. So ideally, we're slowing the mind down, focusing on the sounds you hear, the things you see. If you're willing, uncross your feet and legs or arms and let your feet be on the floor. And let your eyes become soft. You may close them or just keep them relaxed. Let's take a breath together. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. Let's breathe. Relax your chest, your back. And here's a big one. Relax your belly. Let's take an inhale. On the exhale, release any tension from your belly. Relax your legs and feet. Let's focus on our feet and feel them on the ground. On your next inhalation, allow it to feel as though you're inhaling up through your feet. Just imagine the inhale starting at the feet. And then exhale out the top of the head. This is just an imagination, right? Inhale through the feet, up through the body. Exhale through the top of the head. Inhaling up from the bottom. And out through the top of the head. This is one of my favorite ways to clear the mind. It's almost like circular breathing. Up through the feet, out through the top. Feel your body in your chair. Allow yourself to feel safe and grounded because you are safe here. Okay, how's everybody doing? Feeling pretty peaceful? Okay. Let's stay in this lovely centered space throughout our service. And now let's light our chalice. Leanda and Evalie.
We invite everyone to join us in lighting our chalice. The words are on the screen, or they're also on the inside of your order of service.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together. Hymn 1009, Tilburg Meditation on Breathing.
That's right. You don't have to get your hymnal out for this. The words are, when I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Just start singing when you feel it. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love again. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out. Last one. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. We'll stay seated for all of our hymns today just based on the topic of today's service. Jules has a meditation for all ages for us.
Hello again. I chose this meditation from some meditations that Renee sent me from a book called, I may not be pronouncing this correctly, Kumara, and it's kids yoga and meditation. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Camaro.
Thank you. And before we get started, like what Renee just said was interesting, and I love that this congregation, we don't have to talk about what meditation is, because y'all already know it. And probably, I venture to say a lot of people probably have a meditation practice in some way in this room. So we can just kind of go into it, but I want to read you this nice little introduction that she wrote to kids. She's writing this to kids about getting ready for the meditation. As you sit there, nice and still, with your mind thinking, I am going to tell you to picture something. I want you to try to imagine that the picture is in your brain. Keep your voice off, because every person thinks about something different. And we want to be respectful of everybody's thoughts. I will pause now and then to let you think, and make sure that you keep your thoughts in your head so you don't disturb everyone else. And think about the colors, the sounds, and the pictures. And try to keep your eyes closed, your body perfectly still, so that your brain can do all the work. And so she wrote that to kids, and it's important to tell kids, keep your voice off. But as I was reading that, thinking of saying that to y'all, I wanted to say, if anybody here does feel compelled to shout out, I'm going to encourage it. I think that if you feel that you need to shout it out, do it.
Maybe not in the middle of meditation. I don't know.
It would be interesting to see if anybody did. So I'm going to invite you to do a guided meditation with me, please. And Leanda, is Leanda still in here? No. Leanda, if you can hear me, this is what we were talking about. We're going to go to the beach. Leanda got back from the beach not too long ago, so it makes it easy to do a sensory recall when she was just there. So I'm sure everybody here has been to the beach, spent time at the beach, so you can do your own sensory recalls. So I invite you to get comfortable, just as Renee said, and put your feet on the ground and just kind of think of that as the energy, the grounding energy that's coming up from the earth into you, each of us. And close your eyes. We're going to take an imaginary walk on a beach today. Let's picture it in our minds first. The sand is white and soft. The sun is warm, but not too hot. The water is clear. It shines a bright blue. You are walking slowly, feeling the sand cool and soft beneath your feet. The breeze off of the water is gentle, and it smells a little salty and fresh. As you walk along the edge of the water, in your mind's eye, you notice a big and beautiful shell. It's sitting on the sand just in front of you. It's waiting for you to pick it up. You hold it in your hand. It fits just right. You lift it to your ear, and you listen to the whooshing sound of the ocean as the shell whispers to you. It is telling you that the sounds of the water waves on the shore are the sounds of the breaths in your body. As you breathe in, you know you are here. The sun shining down from the sky reminds you that you are taken care of, loved, safe. As you breathe out, you know you are safe. Breathe in. I am here. Breathe out. I am safe. Breathe in. I am here. Breathe out. I am safe. I am here. I am safe. As you continue to breathe and feel the moving air through your body, let your hands and fingers relax. Let your legs and feet reach into the floor. Let your breathing be slow and steady like the waves. Picture the beach being a place of calm. You can come back here at any time. You can know that you are relaxed that you are loved. I am here. I am safe. I am here. I am safe. Begin with a smile, and as you are ready, open your eyes and come back to the UUFF right here. Thank you.
RJ will bring us our joys and concerns.
Now, we know that every day can't be a day at the beach. And so in our community, we make time each week to sit with each other's joys and sorrows. We do this because each person in our community has value. Each person's experiences matter. We pause to sit with our sorrows today, knowing that sorrows come into each person's life, knowing that together we offer comfort. We also sit with each other's joys, knowing too that joy comes into our lives, and knowing that together our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. Not everything joyful or sorrowful can be shared in community, but please feel free to share in the chat and someone will read those aloud. And we also recognize that some do not have voices with which to speak the depth of their pain or the height of their celebration. We make space each week for silence, knowing the life and experience of every person matters, and together our lights shine brighter. So these joys, these griefs, these sorrows, spoken and unspoken, weave us together in the fabric of community.
So let's take a moment, breath in and out. I love podcasts. My particular type of neurodivergence is based in hyperactivity, and podcasts really work for me. One of my favorites is put out by the BBC, and it's done by an MD named Dr. Michael Mosley, who's been a practicing doc for like 30 years. It's called Just One Thing, and the basis of the podcast is learning about one small thing you can do for your health and well-being, and why you should and why it works. And y'all, he did one on meditation. Dr. Mosley began talking about all of the wonderful things that meditation and mindfulness can do for a person, including boosting our immune system. And I thought, was this just a ploy to get our attention because of like COVID stuff? That wouldn't be very nice. Or was he serious? Could this practice that's so ancient, that means so much to so many, also boost our immune system? He also says that it counteracts aging on the brain, boosts our mood. You know, these are the things we kind of vaguely know about meditation if we don't practice. It eases pain and stress, and it improves sleep. If done regularly, 10 minutes a day, he says it can improve working memory and even, are you ready for this? This slayed me. Change the structure and function of our brains. Change the structure and function of our brains? That's when I hit pause on the podcast. Because yes, meditation changed the structure and function of my brain. Mindfulness meditation allowed me not to take my ADHD meds anymore. I haven't taken ADHD meds since I went to Houston for the meditation school in '05. Just a caveat, this is not a comment on medication. This is a comment on meditation and how outrageously good for me it was. Okay, so then I hit play on the podcast after I flipped out for a second. Dr. Mosley mentions that you don't have to be great at meditation. You don't even have to be good at meditation to see the benefits. He shares that he is more pessimistic, negative, glass half empty. I'm thinking Capricorn, a sort of a person. And after just a few weeks of 10 minutes a day, he noticed a good difference in his mindset, in his mood. The clinically proven benefits are both widespread and impressive. Taking a little time each day to focus on your breath and check in with your body can reduce pain, stress, and boost your immune system. Y'all, there's an episode on beets, there's an episode on dancing. I mean like the red beets that you eat from the ground. There's an episode of beets and an episode on dancing and taking naps and coffee and fish oils. And in each one, someone volunteers to do what the podcast talks about for 10 or 15 minutes a day for a week to see what happens. And Dr. Mosley checks in with them halfway through the week and then at the end of the week. And so it's interesting to hear people's process as they try something new that's good for them. And so it's at this point that Dr. Mosley introduces us to Peter. Peter is not a practitioner of mindfulness. He has a busy mind, sometimes has trouble sleeping, and Dr. Mosley asks him if he's interested in trying mindfulness meditation for a week. And of course, this is a podcast, so he says yes. And he definitely wanted to try it for 10 minutes a day for a week. So meditation's been practiced for thousands of years in Hindu, Taoist, and of course, Buddhist traditions. It wasn't until the 1970s that mindfulness meditation was introduced to the West by a cognitive scientist called Jon Kabat-Zinn. You read any of his stuff? Yeah, Jon Kabat-Zinn, yeah. He was interested in using Buddhist techniques, but in a secular way to reduce stress, and he wanted to study the benefits of secular meditation with scientific research. And y'all, there's been a whole lot of scientific research. Since the 1970s, there's been more than 8,000 studies about mindfulness and meditation. 8,000. I couldn't believe it. And the findings from the studies have been outstanding. Now, I'm not going to ply you with tons of information about studies, but there's 3 that I just have to share a little bit about because they blew my mind. In one kind of small study, where 17 volunteers did kind of a rigorous mindfulness course, just 8 weeks. They did 2 months of like an hour or 2 a day. And then they re-studied their brain afterwards and did a brain scan. And the gray matter density in their brains literally changed, literally grew. And this was the parts of the brain dealing with regulating emotions, learning, and memory, which is pretty amazing since it was measured after only 2 months. Okay, it can also pave the road, meditation can also pave the road to dreamland. In a 2015 randomized controlled group of 49 older adults, this is 60 and up, found that those who completed a 6-week mindfulness course had a marked improvement in insomnia, fatigue, and depression. And then it's the stress that meditation removes that helps our immune system. Here's the last study. One study was done with a group of 2 volunteers. And one group was asked to meditate daily, and the other group was not, or literally asked to not meditate daily. And after 8 weeks, everyone was given a flu shot, just like the plain old flu shot. And the meditation group had a greater antibody response to the vaccine, like 100%. Dr. Mosley finds it amazing, and so do I, that a practice that deals with the mind can have such a big effect on our blood cells, on our immune systems. So the first check-in with Peter is midweek. He was surprised on the breath counting part of the exercises he's doing. He's shocked that he loses count between just 1 and 10. In the school that I went to, it's called the Monkey Mind Meditation, and it's the meditation that little Buddhist kids use to learn how to meditate. Have you done that one where you clear your mind and you inhale, and on the exhale you say 1. Inhale. On the exhale you say 2. Inhale. On the exhale, you say 3. It goes on like this, right? And you can go all the way up to 10 or 100 if you want. That's where I'm at, is I'm practicing getting up to 100. And I usually get up to about, now, these days, I'm up to about 60. Try it at home. See how far you get. And if it helps you, count backwards from 10. Or count backwards from 100. Some folks find it easier to count backwards. Some folks find it easier to go forward. But it's all about quieting the mind. Like, it's so hard not to think, okay, and then I'm going to go to the grocery store, and I need eggs and milk, and then I've lost count, and I have no idea where I was, and I'm back to 1 again. So see how it does. So anyway, Peter is discovering monkey mind, and he's feeling relaxed after every day of meditation, and at the halfway point, he's looking forward to it every day. So that's the good point, and he's looking forward to continuing the practice. Okay. It just got better I'm sorry I'm focusing on just one podcast, but y'all, it blew my mind. It's on BBC Sounds, if you want to look this podcast up, Just One Thing by Dr. Michael Mosley. So then Dr. Mosley brings on Dr. Sarah Lazar, and she's a neuroscientist at Harvard and studies the neuroscience of meditation. And he asks her simply, what's the difference between mindfulness and meditation? And she says, mindfulness is often defined as present moment awareness of experience in an open, curious, non-judgmental way. And I was like, what? Wait. What? Okay. Mindfulness can be done anywhere. It's simply focusing on one thing without judgment, just focus. And this can be done anytime, anywhere, and with any activity 24/7. As so many of you know, in April I had an aneurysm, and I've been working with this awesome therapist and I'm dealing with weight loss. And one of the things is mindful eating. And so you don't turn on the podcast, you don't focus on talking to somebody or doing something else. You literally focus on, I'm picking up my fork, I'm having a bite. I'm picking up my fork. I'm having a bite. I didn't think I could either. I didn't think I could do it either. But nothing like a death sentence to help you get something done. All right. And I'm going to go back to Dr. Lazar. Okay. Meditation, she says, is a formal way of training the mind, right? Where you choose one object and focus on it. So meditation's kind of formal, but mindfulness can be done anywhere at any time. So mindfulness meditation is where you choose one thing, like your breath, and you just watch it and be curious for any given amount of time. So there's mindfulness, there's meditation, and there's mindfulness meditation. And then she begins to talk about the amygdala, and I don't know if y'all remember this, but a few sermons ago, there was a study that I was telling you about done at Oxford that showed that folks that watched Fox News had bigger amygdalas. It is our fear center. And then Dr. Lazar shares that it's also our stress center. So the amygdala is our fear center and our stress center. And are you ready for this? Okay, I'm so excited about this because I want to shrink my amygdala. A habitual practice of meditation shrinks the amygdala. And it literally changes the structure of your amygdala and can reduce fear and stress. I'd like to share one more thing that Dr. Lazar mentioned. She talked about the newest study that they were doing at Harvard in her department, and it was with 65 to 80-year-olds, folks that had never ever meditated before or had any history with meditation. After they learned to meditate and had been meditating for 8 weeks. So 8 weeks is sort of a key. 2 months, that might be sort of key. I've heard that in several of these studies. Brain scans showed a more active hippocampus, which is the area of the brain that tends to struggle with age. And she said that even if they stopped meditating, the effects of meditating would last between 1 and 2 years after just 8 weeks of meditation. She also said there was a direct correlation between the physical and mental benefits of mindfulness and how long and how often you practiced. So if you practice for 8 weeks, you get this. If you practice for 8 years, yo. So let's do one together. This is a guided meditation because sometimes that's easiest in groups. And it was written by the Reverend Susan Frederick Gray. She is our UUA, awesome UUA president, the big National Assembly of Unitarians. And I'll be using her exact words. Okay, so again, let's get comfortable in our chairs. And I invite you, as you are willing, into this time of meditation and reflection, and into this practice of gratitude. If you like to write as a way of reflection, feel free to grab one of the pencils or pieces of paper around you. It's also okay to just be still and quiet. Whatever is most comfortable for you and your body to help you feel at ease. First, let's take a few relaxing breaths. Feel free to close your eyes if that is most comfortable, or soften them and leave them open. I invite you at first to just pay attention to your body. If there is a place of tension or pain, imagine breathing your breath into that part of your body. Imagine the breath expanding that area of tension and then breathing out through that tightness, feeling the muscles relax. Breathing in, expanding. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing in through stress or tension. Breathing out and letting go. Now I invite you to bring your attention to your heart space, to your chest or your abdomen if you prefer, relaxing those places. Gentle breaths. Breathing that feels natural and relaxing. Be aware of anything you're feeling. If you are feeling joy or calm and peace or sadness or impatience or anxiousness. Just be aware, no judgment. breathe alongside that feeling. Offer yourself compassion for whatever may be present to you right now. As you continue to breathe, ask yourself if there's anything or anyone you're feeling grateful for. In your heart, ask yourself, who or what are you grateful for? Is there anyone who is showing you care, inspiring you, comforting you, loving you, that you're grateful for? Hold that person or those people. Visualize them. Hold them in the gratitude that you feel for them. Breathe in the feeling of gratitude. Breathe out the feeling of gratitude. Let's take a few more breaths. As you do, I invite you to think about anything this day, anything that's happened or that you're looking forward to. Just be present to what you're thinking. Hold anything that you're grateful for today. I'm giving thanks for the rain this morning. Just hold that gratitude. A few more breaths. Our heart space opens wide, asking if there's anything else you're grateful for. Open that heart center to other things in your life and this moment that you're feeling grateful for. Breathe in the feeling of gratitude. Breathe out the feeling of gratitude. Whether the feelings you're having are good or not as good, just sit with them. It's okay. As you are ready, as you continue to breathe gently, bring your attention back to this time, to your body, to each other, gathered in meditation. As we close, and as you breathe gently, offer a word in silence, a word of gratitude for these gifts. Blessed be. Amen. Namaste. Let's stay in this place of serenity and sing our final hymn today. The words are simply, "May I be an instrument of peace." That's it. May I be an instrument of peace. 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 May I be an instrument of... Now this side, you start. May I be an instrument of peace. Now this side. May I be an instrument of peace. May I be an instrument. Now this side. May I be an instrument of. May I be an instrument. 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 May I be an instrument of peace. Leander. Are y'all feeling pretty peaceful?
Pretty peaceful.
Pretty peaceful. Good.
Almost missed our cue.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Jules will give us our offering. Or she will encourage us to the offering. Yes.
I will
We'll be giving
encourage
the
you
offering.
to.
Yes.
I think it's so important to always realize that this basket is going to come around, and if you are in that place of to put some literal money in there, that's awesome. But I think it's really important that not everybody feels obligated if you cannot and if you're not in that position. And I certainly want to offer to you that I can relate to that, and I know that there sometimes seems like there's a certain amount of pressure on that. And I always want to make that clear that that is not the case. And certainly at the UU, your gifts are you being here. Your gifts are this music and speaking from your heart. And it is so inspiring. Just your presence is a gift and an offering in this space. We appreciate everything that you bring and everything that everyone brings. As the baskets come around in all the churches, we know that that is a part of it, is that the tithing and the financial contribution of the congregation. Your generous heart will shine for you for the rest of your life, whether that is you giving of your talents and your time, giving of your money, all of the above. And thank you so much.
Leanda.
Just a few announcements. All of our religious exploration classes are on break for the summer. That's youth, children, and adults, and we will be back up in session again in September. And all of these announcements are on the screen and then on the back of your order of service too. Our nursery is back open after 2.5 years of being closed, and it is fantastic. My children were super happy about it last week when they were down there and got finished. And let's see, what else do we have? There's a groundwork day on Tuesday the 21st, and we always need extra people to help with that. There's a lot of work to do around the grounds. And also, on the 24th, everyone make plans to attend a meeting after the service. It's from 1 to 3. It's a facilitated planning session. And it's going to be about the maintenance and some improvements we need to make on the building and grounds. So that's super important. Am I missing anything?
I think
Anything
that's
else? There's a potluck. We skipped the food. There's a potluck before. It's on the 24th as well. So go to the potluck and then come to the meeting afterwards.
I think you have to come to the meeting if you come to the potluck. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
It's mandatory.
That's just a joke. Just a joke. All right. So what happened when Dr. Mosley checked in one final time with his volunteer? Well, Peter was surprised at how positive the experience was, and he plans to continue with the guided meditation for at least a few more weeks and maybe longer. Peter was also surprised at how much more peaceful his life was and how much better he handled stress after just 1 week. You want to try it for a week? If you do it, I'll do it. We'll just aim for 10 minutes a day, sitting quietly, watching our breath. And if our mind wanders, and it will, we just lead it back to quiet. And even if that takes 150,000 times, that's okay. You want to try it? If you do, let me know. Let me know how it goes, because don't hesitate to email me. All my info's on the back of the order of service and stuff. So I'm interested in your experience. Thank you so much for being with us here today at UUFF, and thank you for meditating with me today. The divine light in me sees and celebrates the divine light in you. Namaste. Oh, okay, that's it.